Good evening, everyone. We are now live in Autodesk Community Philippines Facebook page and YouTube channel for Revit Architecture Basics Part 2. So ito na po ang pinakahihintay nating huling session ng ating Revit Architecture, no? So sa mga hindi po nakapanood or hindi naka-join ng ating Part 1, available po siya sa ating Autodesk.com and CAD Community Asia Facebook page. So, makikita nyo po yun doon. And sa mga kakarating lang, don't forget to register, no, para makareceive kayo ng official certificate of course completion or certificate of event participation. Okay, so yan, inviting you to please do like and share our live stream, no, sa inyong mga colleagues, to your classmates, or to someone who might you think be interested in our session. Okay, we'll be starting in a few minutes. Okay, we'd like to invite everyone to join us on Facebook, Autodesk Revit User Group Philippines. And we have ang ating Autodesk Community Philippines. Please do like and follow para updated kayo sa ating upcoming and ongoing Autodesk software trainings. And the CAD Community Asia, like and follow, and ang ating group, no, join kayo, Autodesk Community Philippines on Facebook, no. Si CADCom Asia is nasa LinkedIn din siya. If you have a LinkedIn account, inviting you to join us. Okay, and syempre ang ating meetup, inviting you to join us in meetup.com/Autodesk Community Philippines. So sa meetup po tayo nag-upload or nagpa-publish ng ating mga upcoming Autodesk software event. So, ang ating event po ay free of charge. Wala po kayong babayaran. May certificate po kayong marireceive to those who have an output, certificate of course completion, and then kung wala pong output, certificate of event participation. So, it's an official Autodesk certificate. And pwede nyo siyang i-apply, no, kay PRC as self-directed learning. Ayan. So, ayan. I will introduce our instructor. Okay. Architect Aristotle or Aris Basa. Good evening, Sir Aris.
Hello, Nelsie. Good evening to you and good evening sa mga viewers natin. So, meron na tayong almost 100 viewers. So, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you sa internet natin. So, hopefully, we can get to share this second part of our tutorials. And I'd be very happy to answer questions later on after lang natin discuss yung second part of the basics, then we'll be very happy to respond to questions dun sa chat natin.
And I'll be sharing your screen na po, sir, ha?
Okay, so that means systems go. Okay, so what we're going to be having is the second part of our basic Revit tutorials. So what we had last time is introduction to this basic information. Nakagawa tayo ng isang data project where we have demonstrated how to create projects, creating floor plans, elevation, sections, and everything, and using the use of the basic tools in Revit. So for today, what we expect is to learn these following skills on how to create a BIM project from an AutoCAD file. That's the first in line. Will probably take around 10 minutes to do that. The second one is creating schedules in a Revit project. The third one is um, creating a project using mass floors, walls, etc. It's very much useful for architecture students for their architectural design subjects. So you'll find that out in a little while. And then last, before we go to our question and answer part, is a preview on the keyboard shortcuts. Okay, and just before we wrap up the session, I'll be doing a little bit of introduction to structural and MEP Revit as well. Okay, so start na tayo. I'll be using a CAD file from one of my previous projects, which is this. So I have prepared an AutoCAD plan. I'll just open this to show you. In the meantime, feel free to post your comments on our chat box so I can be able to answer them as well, even while tuturo tayo. If they are within the topic, we'll insert. So what you see on my screen is my AutoCAD Pro 2021 version, and nandyan yung floor plan na pin-prepare ko. Nilinis ko na siya, I removed the paper space and everything. This is just what you see in the model space. It's a plan of a residential building, which is built here in the Middle East. Kung mapapansin nyo, medyo makakapal yung walls. These walls are 300 millimeter thick. So these are walls for the Middle East. But anyway, you can change the wall types later on to suit our requirements there in the Philippines and whatever you may be in this part of the world. What is important is to be able to know the process on how to insert a CAD file to a Revit project and use it as a reference in easily building up your building information model. So that's the ground floor, and I have also prepared the first floor of this structure. Wala na siyang bubong. It will be a roof deck for the for the roof. Let me just close that. And let's open Revit. Yes. So as you have learned in the previous session, we'll be creating a new project from a template. Let's browse for a template. The template we'll be using is a construction default metric. Yeah. Click open. And make sure you're creating a new project and click OK. Yeah, well, we have a clean drawing area, and we all know that we are creating a two-story residential building. So what you can see in our elevation is we have level 1 and level 2. We'll just delete the structural parts, structural levels, so we don't need this for now. We have the level 1. Let's pretend we have a 4-meter floor-to-floor height. And of course, we need the level for our roof. So, copy lang natin. Let's copy this. Create another floor level. 4 meters. So let's rename it. Name it as roof. Okay. So sa mga nagtatanong, Sir, bakit kulay black yun? Ito samantalang yung dalawang level, blue. So the reason behind that is, if you can see here in our browser, level 1 is shown, that's why it's blue. Level 2 is shown, that's why it's blue. The roof level is missing, that's why it's not there. So paano natin palabasin yan? So this is another basic lesson that is very important for you who are beginning to learn Revit. Dito tayo sa View tab. Click the View tab. We have there the plan views. Click on that and you will see the floor plan. And you can see that the roof is not yet shown. So click, that's already highlighted. You can just say, okay. Makikita na natin the roof is already shown. And if we go back to the elevation, you'll see that it already turned blue. Okay, so that means that this elevation is already shown in our project browser, which is already shown, right? Yeah. And now the next step we need to do is to link the files that we'll be using. We will be using CAD files. So let's go to our level 1, to our plan. Let's go to insert. Insert. You have two ways to insert a CAD file. Either you link a CAD file or you import a CAD file. So it works in different ways. I didn't understand that. It works in 2 different ways. Yung linking a CAD file means a CAD file will be something like an external reference. So you cannot be able to edit the external reference. It will remain as that. However, the import CAD version, import CAD tool, is you are importing the CAD lines of the CAD file. The negative thing about importing a CAD file is you are importing all these lines. Sometimes it messes up the project, and sometimes some of the lines are left behind. And when you start doing the printing, may mga natitirang lines. Usually don't use import CAD. I recommend linking CAD. So let's go to linking a CAD file. And I know that my CAD file is on my desktop. Let's get the ground floor. Now, these parts are very critical. Make sure that you have checked on, you have placed the selector to the correct file type, and you have an option to preserve the color, or it can either be inverted. That means if it's white, it's going to be black. If it's red, it could be yellow. And you have an option to have it as black and white. So let's just use the same color from the CAD file. So we just preserve it. And the layers and levels, you have the option to select the layers only that you need to import. But at this time, let's just keep all the layers. And the import units, usually it will auto-detect it. But just to make sure, let's put it to millimeter. Okay. And the positioning, it will go to origin to internal origin, or you can have it center to center or manual origin. But let's just try to use manual by origin. Okay, and then it will go to the level where it is meant to go. So that's at level 1, not at level 2. You can go to level 2, 3, 4, or whatever. And then you orient it to the view. That means it is on the north. The north is facing upwards. Click open. Na yung CAD file natin. So since we chose to manually insert it, we'll just be inserting it here. Let's just drop it right there. Aligns now. So if you can see, if I select it, everything is being selected. So it's like an external reference. It's like a block that cannot be edited. Now, one good thing that you need to do is to select it and pin it on its position so it will not move. You have the pin right there, the push pin icon. Yan yung gagalaw. So, whatever you want to do, will not move. Okay? So ngayon, we can start doing our model already. But just to be sure, ilagay na rin natin yung nandun sa upper floor natin. So let's move to level 2. As you can see, we can see the grayed out part of level 1 na nandun na rin yung CAD file. So we'll just have to do the same procedure. Let's link the CAD file. Let's put on the first floor. Same. Okay, so this time, ipakita natin when we select it, let's use the black and white. See what happens. And manual, etc. Goes to level 2. Click open. Yan na. So you can see the difference between a CAD file which you have imported, linked using when you use the same color, when you preserve the color, and this time we use black and white. So nandiyan na yung black and white. So i-align lang natin yung drawing natin. So how do you do that? Again, go to select this file and click align. And let's align grid 1. Grid 1, yeah. And then another one, let's align grid A with grid A. That's it. So nakatapat na tayo. I guess yes, we are properly aligned. Okay, so how do we know that these are already in different levels? Let's go to our 3D view. Makikita nyo sa 3D view that it is already in its Z position properly. So makita mo dito, there are some lines that we have imported from AutoCAD that have a corresponding thickness. See, these are not flat lines. These are 3D elements from the AutoCAD file. So makikita rin natin. It's not a big problem actually because we will just be tracing the lines. So makikita mo yan. These things that they use has some sort of a thickness on the line. Okay, so much for that. It's not really very important. Go now to go back to level 1 and start modeling. So last time we created grids, and now we already have the grids placed in our CAD file. We can place the grids using our grid architecture tab. We have the grid. Just select. You can use this. Pick lines. Yan lang natin. Isa. I will not make everything. So just to save time, I will just select both ends. Okay. So let's just move this. We can just rename this. Yeah. This is okay. Of course, you know that when you create the grid, the the ground floor you can see it at the upper level. Let's just move it a little bit away. Let's move it away from the grid of the AutoCAD side. This additional. Okay. So usually for a two-story building, it would roughly take you maybe 3 hours to create the architectural and structural model of such when you already have the CAD file. So I will not be doing everything. I'll just show you a little bit of our tools, to our architect tool wall, architectural wall. Let's use 300 generic 300 millimeter thick wall, and it will be level 2 placement, level 1, level 1, 2, click the wall again, 200, and from level 1 up to level 3, automatically that becomes 4 meters. And this time, let's see if we have a center. Yeah, we have the center line. We use that center line. And then let's just create the wall from here. Automatically, the Revit is reading where the center line of these walls are, and you can easily create the walls this time. So this is a very useful tool, especially now. Ang demand ngayon sa Revit is one of the demands in Revit now is to create BIM models out of the previously drawn CAD files. So once you get to learn this, it will be very good for you to earn either as an outsource doing Revit or as an employee doing working on build projects. Ngayon, problema natin, hindi natin makita yung, yung windows. No? So you can just simply put your graphic display back to wireframe so you can see where the windows are. And so when you place the windows, you already learned this last time. When you place the windows, let's say, it's way bigger. So again, I will not put everything because we need to save time so we can learn the other tricks. So let's go to the 3D view. Let's just put that to 5. Shade it. You've already created that one. So if you have a little bit more time, then you can complete the project. Ayan. How do you control the link? Link. So in this view, ayaw mo makita. You want to see the Revit file only. How do you do that? You have several options. Number one option is to select the link and right click on it, sabihin mo lang hide in view the elements. It will be hidden. Other way, other way to do it is to open the manage link tool, go to manage tab, and click on your manage links. Makikita mo tong prompt na ito. And then you go to your CAD formats. You'll see that you have the ground floor and you have the first floor. You have several options to do here. For the ground floor, you can unload. You can unload it para mo siya makita. Okay. And then again, let's go back to our manage link. Add formats, select it, and you can just reload it the next time you want to see it. Okay. So if you don't need it anymore, what you can do is select it and totally remove it. You can remove it. Or in case that you have updated the CAD file and you needed to see what are the changes in the CAD file and to compare that with the Revit file, you can reload that from a different location. For example, nag-update ka na dun sa file sa previously saved folder mo, and then you replace that file, then you can just reload it again so that the updated file will be loaded. Okay, so that's how it works. So let's just cancel. And as a sort of review, you've already learned this last time. If we select all of this and copy, copy to clipboard, say paste, align to selected level, put it at level 2, click OK, napunta na siya sa upper floor. And then you can just edit on the upper floor if you go to the level 2 floor plan. Let's say you don't want to show the lower CAD file here, then you can use again your manage link tab. You can see I'm not using the tabs anymore because I have my shortcuts. So later on, watch till the end. Sabi nga, I will teach you on how to use the shortcuts in Revit and how to customize your shortcuts. Okay, so let's select the CAD formats of the ground floor and let's just unload it para huwag natin makita. So that's not disturbing. You'll just see the upper floor, the first floor Revit CAD link. Okay, and nawala na siya. And then you know that these are Revit walls. You can just play with your graphic display option to know which are the solid lines. Let's say if you go to shaded, you know that the shaded is your Revit wall already. So how are we doing? We'll not spend so much time on this, but I would like to add the parapet wall. So how do we do that? Let's go back to the 3D. If you remember, we copy clipped the wall, and I'd like to place that at the roof. So what will happen is I'll go to my modify tab, and I'll say face align to selected levels. I'll choose the roof, click OK. So that's another set of roof. But of course, a parapet is a wall which is a little bit shorter than your usual wall. So let's say it's 1.1 meter, 1100 millimeters. What we will do is let's go to the properties. What is property? Control 1. Yeah, properties right here. But the problem is it doesn't show dahil meron tayo isang window. Select lang. Let's remove that window. And then let's go to let's just go to a one view. This is one way to select the items. You can use your window selection. See if we have selected uh, walls of the parapet. So another way to select is you go to the roof, you say select one, say uh, select all instances visible in view. Ang masiselect lang dito, since this is the roof plan, which is a plan view, are only those walls in the roof level. To prove that this is the 3D. Yan, diba? Again, to show that live, let's go to the view and let's have a live video para natin pinakita that so let's just see how it happens live. So select, so it automatically selects like this. And let's select again, select all the instances visible in view. Ayan. Okay. And then now, since these are of the same uh, type and properties, same wall, makikita natin that we can be able to edit these type of wall. So as of now, the top constraint is up to roof level, and the top offset is 4 meters. We don't want that. We want it only 1.1 meters. And put the edit na natin the parapet. So quick way to do a slab, a roof slab is go to the architecture tab. We have the roof. Let's say roof by footprint. Uh, Pick the walls. Click or select the walls. Walls. Uh, Just click check. You have the 400 millimeter. Let's click click. Just go from the 125 mm. Click check. Double. Okay. The reason why I did not use floor is because the roof will have different elements. and and you have a chance to edit this if you want to, to use slopes to create let's say you change your mind, you want to make this a cable roof, then you can be able to edit it because it's a flat roof. If you created a slab, then you cannot edit it to become a slope roof. So similar way you did for the roof level, you can do for level 2 or let's say level 1. This time we'll be creating a slab, floor, architectural floor. So 150 and it's 225 mm. This time let's use big lines. Big lines. Piliin na yung mga lines lang. There are several ways to create your elements in Revit using the various tools available. So if all the lines are closed, there will be no error here. You just click the check. See, that means there is an error. Kasi sabi niya, lines must be in closed loop. So that's your lesson to be learned. Continue lang natin. Just click continue right there. And let's just delete that. Let's move that there. And okay. So now this is a closed loop shape, and it can be created as a floor. So now look at the floor, like what we did earlier. Let's go to the 3D. And select the floor, and copy that again, paste it to the upper level, which is level 2, wala pang floor. So let's go back to our, let's say, level 2 floor plan. There's level 2. And we got a section there to view. You see that you've already created that section. In the section as well, if you don't want to show the CAD file, the CAD links, you go to your manage link and go to the CAD file and just unload that. Okay. So that's for the first part of our lesson, which is CAD to BIM. Okay. The second thing is creating schedule. To create a schedule, let's use the file that we used earlier on our first session. I will just close this file. Okay, where is that project that we did last time? Open. Probably on my desktop. Okay. Yeah, if you remember, you were here the last time that we had this session. Kita natin project that we did review. That's a pretty decent Revit tutorial project. Now we see that we have windows and we have doors. Let's try to create a window and door schedule. Okay. Inside we have several doors. Okay. Windows. Now before we create the schedule, architects would of course know that you have to tag the doors and windows before you create a decent schedule. So how do we do that? Level 1, we have this tool. In the annotate tool, we have what we call tag all, tag by category. You click tag by category. Yeah, the doors. So it tags the door automatically. But you don't want to do that. You want to do tag all. Nowadays, we tag all. Then we select from our options. So we want to put the door tags. We want to put the room tags are already there, and the window tags. Door and window tags. Lagyan natin ng video. You don't need to put it here. That's okay. Apply. Automatic. So that becomes door number 6. Of course, based on your standard, you can make it as D6 or W1 as you would like. And these are wall tag window. Yeah, we have windows right there. Yeah, let's see if that happens to the second floor. So, oh, wala pa, no? So tagging works with the view only that you have open. So ulitin natin dito as a sort of review. Let's go to annotate and click on tag all, and then check on the door tags, and let's add the room tags and the window tags. Since we don't have the room tags here yet. Click apply, click OK. So, maybe they're off. Again, try it again. All. Let's go toward that and we go back. Live. Okay. And kung tawag na muna, dito na muna tayo mag-concentrate sa doors and windows. So how do you create a schedule? Before you do that, let's go to your template. No? Sometimes your template would have the schedules already. So if you can see here, we have the door quantity schedule and have the windows quantity. Let's have a look at these door quantities. So automatic, naka-generate na kayo agad ng door schedule, but it has so many information. And you have the window quantities. So this is mainly for showing whatever information can be placed. So let's start from scratch. Pwede naman tayo makagawa ng panibagong schedule. So let's go back to close this. Start from scratch. Now let's go to your view tab and then yung schedule. You can create a new schedule. Say this is a schedule quantity. And we have the category under architecture. We have, you can select window. Okay. And what you have here, schedule properties, whatever property you want to show, let's say count, and then you can say assembly description, assembly name, and you have width, according to the width, there is the level, door level, the height, width, you can put the seal height as well. You can even find the rough height and width. Okay, and then this can be interchangeable. You can just use this arrow button. Okay, and then you can just say, okay. And automatically we have created this schedule. So since we don't have the information here, we can just delete the column. So some of the doors have a rough height already, but some does not have it. Okay. And what we missed here is the door tag. Let's have fun. So if you want to add more columns, what do? You edit the type or you add fields here. Click edit. Let's add the fields. Let's say what is mark. Give it a give it a okay. Now you can see that it's marked as 1, 2, 3 accordingly. That could be D1, D2. Let's say if we edit from here, say let's create the mark as D1. 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 O kaya na babago din yung dun sa floor plan. See, 7, so on. Okay, change that. Go to our, we are at level 1, right? Let's go to level 1. Ayan na, palitan na din. So So you can just edit the tags from your schedule, right? And then put it on. Um, that's basic tagging, creating a tour schedule. So yung schedule natin, pwede ba natin ilagay sa sheet? Of course, we can put it in the sheet. Go to one of your sheets. Let's say, then sheet natin. Sheets. Why aren't we having sheets here? Because this one, this is not the updated file that I did. So anyway, let's create a new sheet. Okay. You already know how to edit this. Let's just put the schedule. That schedule. So that schedule is already here. Your schedule. Just drag and drop it. Drop it like it's happening. Okay. You can adjust the width of the columns. And also you can edit these types based on select that. You have an option to edit this in visibility. You can play with it. And basically that's how you create a schedule and place it on a sheet. Okay, so far so good. We've done the creating schedules. I don't see any questions popping up right now, so we'll just continue. Hopefully you are learning on this tutorial. Hope that you've learned already in the first part. This will further, and hope this will uh, further add to your interest in learning Revit and using Revit for your projects. Tayo. Dito na tayo sa exciting part. This is mass floors and walls. We'll spend a little bit more time here. And for the benefit of our architecture students, especially those who are in their design, let's say, doing their thesis. In the third, fourth, and the fifth year. Yung BP thesis dyan, and you're doing complex projects. Okay, let's close this now. Okay. So the next lesson that we'll be doing is very helpful in creating, starting a conceptual design in architecture. Mass floors and walls. This is exciting. Let's go. Let's create a new project. By this time, how to create a new project. Let's go to the default. Yeah, we have our fresh Revit file ready for our next project. Let's just save the file so we can learn how to do it later. Save it as desktop. Okay, save. Sure you change that. Save to backups. Okay. Okay. Before I continue, this would be another 20 to 30 minute stretch. Maybe it would be best to have a short coffee break. Nelsie, do you mind to play a video? I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Nelsie, is Nelsie still here? Oh, not yet. Si Nelsie. friends who are working there in Hamad, no? They are not reporting all the debts. Okay, we are back. Thank you, Jomar. Focus yung kape ko pero okay lang. Diretso na natin. Saying hi to our participants, all of our students from the UAPSA, architecture students, and even the PSME students. Welcome, and also to our fellow architects and engineers. Welcome po. Hope you continue your hope you continue learning Revit and apply it to your projects. I hope to see your projects one day. Okay, let's go now to our topic. Ayun, bumati si Kenneth, one of our friends. Shoutout po kay Sir Aris. Nice to see you here, Kenneth, and also Alvin Jan from Cuba. Nandito ulit. Welcome back. Yan si Kenneth, our good friend from Tarlac. Okay. Dito tayo ngayon sa screen natin. So let's pretend we are going to be doing a conceptual project. And let's say we want to create a multi-story building. Let's say a twisting tower. Twisting tower with about 30 stories. 30-story twisting tower. So to start a project like that, you need to, of course, go to your elevations and prepare your levels. As again, we don't need this to start with. But now we need to create how many levels? Let's say 30 levels. Isa-isahin ba natin? Huwag na, di ba? Ito na tayo sa medyo, let's use some tricks on how to create more levels. Let's select one of the levels, level 2, and let us use array. Yan. Those who are familiar with AutoCAD, alam nyo na gamitin ito. No? So let's click array. What we will be doing is we need 30 there. And sabihin natin move to second. Yan. Okay. That means if we click here, click there, we'll be automatically creating 30 levels. 34 na tayo. Dahil yung numbering natin, nag-start siya dun sa 7. You know, you don't worry much on the numbering. This can be adjusted later on. And the good thing here is once you've created that, you can add more. We have the 30 floors. If you want to make it like 60, high-rise tower. Super high-rise na to. Balik natin sa lahat. Wala tayo sa 30. That's how you do it. Okay? Use your array tool in creating levels. Second step, let's go back to level 1. Maybe we want to do some basement, but let's just assume we will not be creating our basement. Ito lang muna tayo from ground up. Go back to level 1. Now it's time to place our shape. Since we'll be doing mass, let's go to our massing insight and let's get some in-place mass. Those. Cancel. I think we need to insert. Let's insert a family from our mass family. Under the family library, we have what we call mass. Yeah, and then let's select this uh, the blended rectangle. This is something that you can use to have like a twisted building. You can also use sphere, use torus, and other shapes available. You can play with that. Just remember the steps that I'll be teaching you, and I'll be sharing with you tonight. Let's go to the rectangle blended. Click open. Asa na? Ito na yan sa boundaries. So if you see, we have the mass um, category of the family. We have the rectangle blended right there. Drag and drop lang natin. We have it right there. If you look at the 3D view, it is sitting right there. Pero mababa siya. Of course, you can adjust the height of it. And how do we do that? We go to our elevation. We have already opened earlier. Select mo lang yan, and then you can pull it up. See, you have those options. Pull it up. You can pull it up manually. You can pull it up manually, and you can also adjust the walls based on this. You can adjust it here, adjust the size. So let's keep it as sort of right now. And you have something like that. Yeah. So it's a bit of a twisting tower. Ready. So what you've just created is a mass family. Wala ka pang gagawang part building. So what you do now is you go to your massing insight and you create the uh, floor by face. Yeah, floor by face. This type of floor. Oops, sorry. Use this for a while so I need to review. Let's go back to architecture. Make sure this is showing. Okay, let's select the floor levels. Okay, select the floors. What we do now is go to mapping inside. Create a floor by face. Okay. I keep forgetting this trick, but don't worry, we'll remember it. Anyone here knows how to do this? Uh, okay. What is the next step? Architecture, mapping inside. Should be in mapping inside. Create. Okay. Converts a mass floor into a floor of a building model. So create floor by face. There. Mass floors tayo. Okay. Select muna natin yung mass. Okay. And then let's click mass floors. And then we select all of these. Okay. Cancel lang. Restart tayo. So, under massing and site, when you click the mass that you created, automatically this will come up. And you click mass floors. Then select all the floors that you intend the floors to be. Check it. Okay. For example, you want to have like a double floor on the lower level. Ano natin, check natin yung level 2 and level 7. So you have like a high floor on this part. And then click OK. So at this time, you've created your floors. No? So these are mass floors. Hindi pa yan actual floors. The next thing is let's create the actual floors. Okay. So now go to floor by phase, and then let's select the type. Say let's select generic 150 mm, and then let's select all the floors available. And click create floor afterwards. So you've just created the floor. So if you put this now to shaded, you already have those nice looking floors. You have your elevation, south elevation, west elevation, south elevation. If you want to show, so you have those. Okay. Plan. That's the east. There. First it is our 3D. West. Let's just show the elevations. We have our 3D, we have elevation, we have plan view. So the next step is to create the wall. How do we create the wall? Let's go back to our massing site. Let's create a wall by phase. See, you can select that phase, whichever phase you want to select. So this time, we'll be creating a wall. Creating storefront. Meron na siya. Volumes. Select that. What's is incompatible. Okay. Select other type. Again. Select curtain system. Okay. Select that. That. Okay. We have a curtain wall. Curtain system. Select the faces. 4 faces and the create system. So yan na. You created your curtain system. That's a curtain system. So you can do this step using another shape. Let's just do it quickly. Balik tayo sa level 1. As a sort of review, let's create another shape. Move lang natin ito. Elevation targets. A little bit more. So we can create. Okay. Let's insert again. Let's go to our family. Select kind of a dome, table, pyramid, pentagon sphere, torus, something like that. I'm thinking of a cone or maybe a cylinder. Go arch. Let's just go for a cylinder. And click open. Now let's get a cylinder. Place the cylinder right there. Okay. As I told you earlier, you can adjust that according to your liking. So let's say gusto mo mas mataas to dun sa kanina. You can add a few more levels so that you know that your level have 30. Put on 42. Try 42 levels. Let's create a 42 stories high cylindrical tower. The same step that we did earlier. This is some sort of a review of what we did earlier. As you can see here pala, hindi natin nagawang yung ibang phases, no? So what we can do, let's just do that again. Massive site. Create the curtain system. Select this place. The other place. Okay. The low face selected, and let's create the system. And so we have those selected. And of course, you already know how to create the columns and stairs and everything. So you can apply those skills that you've learned in adding columns to this and even adding walls to the interior and developing the site. Okay, let's go to the cylindrical tower. Again, let's review what we learned earlier. Select natin yung mass. And then let's go to the mass floors. And let's select all of them. Click OK. We've already created the mass floors. And then go to the floor by face. Select the type of floor. Say you want to have a 160 mm concrete with metal deck. Ibang structural dito. And you select on this and create the floor. If you look closely, that's it. That's a floor with a metal deck. Okay. To prove that it's a metal deck, let's just have a section. Section. Yeah, right there. So that has a metal deck. It has a metal deck. That's a type of material we use for this. And let's review creating our curtain system. I think here we can use the storefront kasi hindi naman siya irregular. Kanina, we were not able to use the storefront because it will automatically create errors because we have sort of a irregularly shaped mass. But I think for a regularly shaped cylinder, we can use the type of storefront. Okay? Let's go now to curtain system. To create wall, create a wall, storefront, select that. Select the other. So, yeah. So you can see your tower right there. You can see the mullions. That's why we use. So I used the storefront to show you that when you select this type of wall, it will automatically have those mullions. And these mullions are adjustable. If you select the wall itself, let's go here. Select that in the wall. Yeah, select it. If you edit the type, you can see here that you have a maximum spacing, the vertical plate at 1524. It's if you want to make it, let's say 2 meters. So you have two for every floor, and the spacing for the vertical, you want to make it. You can even change the type of mullions to be used. You will not be changing it. If it's a click apply, makita niyo yung pagbabago dito. So how is everybody? I hear someone here. I think it's someone from Qatar. Ryan Caraon. Sir Alice, kung makakapunta ka sa office ng Jefferson, pakikumusta naman kay Lizette. Salamat. Ryan Caraon, are you from Philippines? Are you related to Lizette? We even have Yonai Jam. Hi, Yonai Jam. Good to have you here. I see also Baika Baika. Good to have you here. And we'll just click OK. So you can see that the mullion, spacing of the mullion are already adjusted. So before we all get excited, I know you already want to see a 3D rendering of how this would look like. Let's just go back to the first element that we did. So when you created a curtain panel, you basically have the cutouts on the curtain wall. You can add mullions into them. So what you do here in the architecture tab, you can add these mullions. Say if you want to add the vertical mullion with this, by one. Yeah, you can very well do it. See, if you want to make mullions, say the corners of the building, then that's okay. For example, hope everyone is enjoying this part two of our Revit tutorials. Um, Based on experience, I must tell that you're enjoying this because uh, first time I learned Revit, try to find out how to create conceptual projects using Revit. Because basically, when you do Revit basics, you start with what I did on the part one, which is the basics of creating walls and creating a BIM model. But creating an architectural conceptual model using Revit is not it's not automatically taught. Um, Actually, this is part of at least intermediate to advanced level Revit when you enroll in courses. But would like to share this with you as I know this is very helpful for our architects. You are a young architect or students or already practicing as architects. This is very helpful for your practice and for your learning. So let's just to finalize the project. You can add more. You can add a dome here. You can add, let's say, a pyramid and this roof. It's up to you. It really depends on you. Let's just add a little bit on the side here. Let's go to the massing side. Let's add a little bit of side. Go to the massing inside and let's create a topo surface. Topo surface can have various materials and can have various uh, heights. You know? By default, it's set at 0. Let's say, let's create some height points right there. Let's make it 1,000. Right. So let's make it 3,000. Create some sort of graph. Six. To have some sort of drama site form. And you can change the material. By default, this comes like an earth. Here, you can change the material right here. Click on that 3 buttons. Kita natin siyang grass material. You can always search for grass. Grass. Put it up. Select it. And the appearance would look like that. If you want to adjust the glossiness, you can very well do it. Apply. Okay. That's realistic. We have something like that. Then if you, of course, you'd like to add your trees and everything, you need to mark a few more volumes. Over to the hidden line, a few more volumes. Sure. Then let's just add some icing on the cake. Bigyan lang natin ng puno. Do we have the planting here? We don't have. So we need to insert the basic inside components. We don't have the plants. Let's go to the family. Go back to your library. Go to planting. Let's put those tropical plant, tropical trees. Please. Let's go back to the site. Feel free to put on your plants. My favorite plant is the human royal palm. It's always the place. Have those big ones on here. Big trees. This is very helpful when you're doing your thesis, your project, just to create a nice ambience for your project. Select those. Right there. Okay, and we can now try to put on a camera. Picture. Bakit yun nilayo? Okay. We'll find out later. That would help you to create a stunning view using a better angle camera. Fast, probably. Quite near the business center. Shall we render it? Of course, let me introduce to you another feature of Revit, which is rendering cloud. You know, it is far better, faster than your computer. For example, now I'm using an excellent workstation. I'm using a computer which is 12 core computer with 32 GB RAM and i7. I can render faster online than in my computer, and even the online rendering would have better result. Let's try to render online, render in cloud. But of course, this would work only if you use the authorized and licensed software. So, or if you are using the student software, you have to be logged into Autodesk to be able to use this feature. Since we are using a licensed software, we don't have a problem with that. Let's render it in cloud, and you will see this greeting. Don't need to show that next time. Continue. And it has very simple. So if you want to have this 2D view one, output would be a still image only. Just bear in mind you can do a panoramic view, even a stereo panorama. Find that out for yourself. And render quality, you just make it final, image size. I have many friends. That's with 2.25 megapixel. These two credits, that's okay. And click render. Let's see how fast it could render. I'm not sure if I've set up the background, but let's see what happens. Let's go back to the comments. I hope you're still enjoying this. You will see the rendering very soon. Let's it's right there. It's rendering. There's a render progress. Let's take a pic. The render progress. There's the project. So it could render that quick, using your online rendering. So as you can see, we didn't change much of the materials yet. We didn't change the color of the glass of the curtain wall, so it doesn't show much features yet. But if you get a chance, time to change it, you can do that. And I've shown already the process, and I hope you were able to learn from this. It's up to you now to continue learning, expand your knowledge. Maraming courses available online, and they're not very expensive. You can enroll in LinkedIn, one of our sponsors. I've enrolled several courses there back in the days. It's really a good way to learn and to expand your knowledge, and of course, practice makes perfect. With that, we'll go to the last part of our session today, which is the keyboard shortcuts. Okay, we've already done this, that, and that. Time to go to the keyboard shortcuts. Won't take much time. We'll be done in 2 minutes with this. Keyboard shortcuts. If you go to your big R, now we're not into the big R file. We have here the options. If you click on options, we have here the user interface. Under the keyboard user interface, you have the keyboard shortcuts, and you can customize it right there. Okay. You can also access it from here. In your view tab, you have the user interface. You have here the keyboard shortcuts. Now let's go to the keyboard shortcuts. What you see here are already the predefined keyboard shortcuts in Revit. As if you can remember last week, I'm showing you, let's say here in the architecture, what you see here is, you can see the shortcut. Let's say window, you have the WN as your shortcut right there. Door, you have the DR as your shortcut. Wall, WA, and in the modify tool, we have these shortcuts. Align AL, you have copy CO, rotate RO, trim, TR, and so forth and so on. So to customize it, let's go now to view, user interface, and go to keyboard shortcuts. To create a new shortcuts, for example, these commands does not have shortcuts yet. Let's say type properties does not have a shortcut. Modify, already have a shortcut. Let's say link CAD. Okay. Link CAD, I'd like to create a new shortcut with it. Let's say I would like to say CD for this. CD. CD will be my link CAD or maybe LC. Okay. I will assign it. Unfortunately, there's already a shortcut assigned for LC, so I cannot do that. Let's say I'll put C assign. Meron na din. Um, link. Okay. Let's put C. Let's say LC. LC. Try natin. Meron na din. Easy. Assign. Meron na. What else? Okay. Okay. LV. Have it. Oh, this worked already. Sorry. We need to remove this. So CD is already assigned for our link chat. So let's cancel this and click OK. Now if we type CD, automatically it's bringing us to the link chat formats. Then I can bring in, let's say, this to level 1 and open. Link chat formats. Yeah, already there. And you just created, just learn how to create a keyboard shortcut, customize it, and use it for your. So with that, I think we can go now to the next part of our part of our session, which is the question and answer portion. Nasa na si Jomar. Okay na tayo, Jomar. Let's proceed with the happier part.
Okay. Ayan. So once more, good evening everyone and thank you po sa lahat ng ating partners. Ayan, sa UAPSA, student units, JPSME, FabLab Mindanao, at FabLab Philippines. Okay, so guys, encouraging everyone na magtanong po, no? Now is the time. At alam niyo naman, si Sir Aris ay very in demand and very busy yan. Parang kanina ata, kinausap pa si Sir na kanyang employer ata. Ayan. Sir Aris, are you hearing me clearly?
Yes, yes, very clear, Jomar. Samantalahin
Ayan.
na natin to kasi last time hindi tayo makakonect. Diba?
Opo,
We have
once more,
very
sir.
clear lines.
Oo. Once more, first question po, Sir Aris, sa mga late dumating, no? At saka hindi nakakaintindi. Yung iba po kasi ang isip nila, mechanical ako, electrical ako, bakit ko kailangan matutunan yung Revit architecture? Why nga ba, sir?
Yun, very good question, Joe. I've explained this last time for those who haven't catch that answer. Revit is created by architects for architects initially. So, and then the application is is applicable for structural and MEP models. So yung skill na matututunan natin, the skill that we'll be learning in Revit architecture will be very useful as we go on to structural and mechanical and electrical planning. As a matter of fact, it is advisable to learn architecture first, because in architecture there are more tools that you will learn, and it will be in especially those creative tools. Once you jump into structural, it will be easier for you to learn structural modeling and even mechanical and electrical modeling. So maybe before we close tonight, I will show a little bit of introduction on structural and mechanical and electrical modeling.
Ayan. Okay, may tanong si Sir Ryan Chester Ruger about rendering. Is it possible to render in Revit? Of course, yes.
Yeah, baka siguro sabi niya, is it possible to perform all types of rendering? Thank you. Maybe he is pertaining to other plugins, the plugins in Revit, and the ones that you use for other software like V-Ray. V-Ray, Autodesk product yan. Meron tayong plug-in yan na pwede nating ilagay sa Revit. So directly you can render in Revit using the V-Ray tools, and also the latest one that we have, which is very much recommended by Revit, is Enscape. I think you've had the introduction sessions also of Enscape here. Yung Enscape is very much recommended kasi you can, yan, nakita niyo yung video, in real time, kahit iginagalaw mo yan, even if you're panning, you can see the fully rendered image. Although you have to have a really strong computer to be able to maximize the use of this. Yan, nakikita niyo project. I think that's a Qatar project. Ganyan dito.
Ayan, so once more guys, magkakaroon tayo ulit ng Enscape training for Revit. So stay tuned lang kayo. Yep, tama si Sir, no? Napakadali ng Enscape gamitin, as in parang pindot lang, automatic mare-render na siya sa Revit, and can also be integrated using VR. Ayan, you can show your projects to your clients via VR. Yan ang
Yes, yes, and also Joe Mark, if I can add, marami ding built-in elements na itong Enscape. Diyan na yung mga trees, the environment, and even interiors.
Yes.
Nandiyan na siya. Ang dami, super dami, which is very, very highly recommended for architects and engineers alike.
Ayan, tama yun. Tama si Sir Aris. Sobrang dali guys. Kahit yung mga kotse, tao, mga mga laman ng kwarto, ayan, pwede nyo drag and drop lang yun. Parang family na automatic siya agad eh. Parang gano'n sa Enscape. Yep, next. Kay Sir, ayan. Thank you Sir Kenneth Lampitok. Sir, ask ko lang po, what is the difference between component, system, and in-place families? Ayan, madalas to sa mga beginners, sir.
Yan, okay.
Mga beginners.
Component, system, and in-place families. Let's go to the screen now. Let's go to the screen to easily explain it. So a component is, let's say, is a window. A window is a component. Architecture, a window is a component. The parts of the model, these are called components. Let's say we have the window family, it's a component. We have the door, that's a component of a model. We have the walls, these are components. System naman, system, it pertains to the structural systems, you have the mechanical systems, and the architectural systems. Architectural systems, you have the curtain wall systems, you have the staircase, these are called systems as well. At meron ba dyan tinatawag na yung sa groups, when you group it, if I go to here in the systems, let's just answer it clearly. No? So you can see the systems here. These systems are mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems. In Revit, yung MEP, it's called systems, technically. Okay? But you also have the architectural systems like curtain wall systems, and in structural, you have those structural systems as well. In-place families, yun yung mga families na if we go to classing inside, okay, baka ito yung tinatanong ni Kenneth, the in-place mass. No? What we did earlier is we use the mass from our families. So when you do in-place mass, you will create in your model. For example, if you do in-place mass here, what you basically do is like you are doing extrusion and all of those 3D tools in Revit, in AutoCAD, if you know AutoCAD. Yeah. So you have these tools that you can use. Let's say I will create a circle. And then I can create a form. Yeah, and finish the mass. So in this case, this is what we call an in-place mass kasi ginawa natin siya doon sa model itself. Okay, there's a slight error here because I did not put another shape, but that's how you create. With something you create in the model itself, that's called an in-place mass. Okay. Meron pang nag-add dito si Onel Pabico. Sabi niya,
Ayan,
sagot ni architect. Yan.
Yep.
It is very much correct. Thank you, Onel, for adding to that.
Ayan, thank you Sir Onel, no? So tama si Sir Onel. Nagsisimula naman talaga sa ano din yan, 'di ba, sa architect. Unless na yung mga ME kasama sa start ng massing tsaka energy modeling nung building, no? Kaya mahalaga guys, bonus 'yan pag naintindihan niyo yung yung of course, Revit maraming gumagamit, 'di ba? Parang AutoCAD. Mas maganda nga na naintindihan mo din yung trabaho ng iba, 'di ba? For better collaboration.
Ayun, thank you si Kenneth. Thank you, Kenneth, also. Sa point cloud, ibang usapan naman to, Kenneth. The point cloud is another topic. But just to answer it quickly, in-place family yung ginagamit po ba? Point cloud is data coming from a survey. Usually, meron ding application, yung Autodesk, that you can use when you have those point cloud, and you can import point cloud into Revit.
Ayan, kay Sir Ryan Chester Rugero. Ayan, I pasted, sir, no, the replay of Enscape from CAD. Yung application engineer ng Enscape. Meron tayong training yan. Similar to Autodesk, magkaiba sir. Enscape and Navisworks.
Oh, yan. Sagutin natin quickly. Enscape is a rendering software, a rendering application which which works in parallel with Revit models and with your Revit software. Navisworks is mainly for coordination and also, although Navisworks can also do renderings, Navisworks is mainly for construction purpose. It is a very powerful tool for construction. Yan ginagamit namin dito. One day, I've offered my services to do an introduction on Navisworks as well. So abangan nyo yan.
Ayan. Ayan sir, what prompted daw you to take up architecture?
Oh, okay ito. Well, architecture, back in elementary days, I wanted to be a Disney artist, you know, magawa ng mga Disney animation, no? But I learned that it would be difficult to to earn good money that quick. So in high school, we had architectural drafting as a special subject in our third and fourth year. So I took up that, and I learned that architects earn good money. So that that prompted me to take architecture. But I didn't know that architecture is a back-breaking course. Mahirap siya, and you probably lose lots of hair in the future. That's kidding aside. Kidding aside, but that what prompted me is the opportunity for better earning, I believe.
Ayan, share to us sir, no? How did you end up in Qatar daw? What was your journey? Paano kayo napunta sa Qatar in terms of your career?
Oh, okay. I've been here in Qatar since 2001. So maybe many of you are still babies when I came here to Qatar. No? 2001, I worked in the Philippines for a couple of years after finishing college for an architectural firm. And then I got a phone call, lucky phone call through my office secretary. Sabi niya, may naghahanap ng architect para sa Qatar. Gusto ko, pa-interview ka. So that's just how it came to. I was doing basic architectural works then, but I had a special skill before, which is miniature scale models. Yung model natin na miniature. So, meron kaming special division in our office then, so I knew the tricks on those, and that's what they needed for a company here in Qatar. And immediately I qualified, and that's where it all started.
Ayan, yeah, next, what are your advice sir to aspire to to young architects aspiring to go abroad?
Oh, you have to upskill. Keep updated with the technology. Keep updated with the standards, because maybe in the Philippines, if you can see, uh, if you are just basically on we'll compare it to residential projects, we don't set the bar high on those for standards, even on drafting and preparing drawings. But when you go abroad, those standards that you see on the books, that you see in the books, you see in online, are very much implemented. Kasi siguro sa Pilipinas, sometimes the projects have minimal budgets. When you go abroad, they will say you build design. Money is not a problem. So you have to be, you can be free to do what you want, and you have to be able to level up with the competition, kasi marami din tayo competition to have all the skills.
Ayun, another question sir, with regards to Philippines in comparison sa ibang countries, how far behind are we in terms of BIM? Kahit sa mga neighboring countries na lang, sir.
Actually, we are not so far behind. We are even advanced. The problem is it is only limited to a certain area. Let's say uh, sa Manila pa lang yung application of BIM. Because as far as I know, even when I was in college, we had projects. I started working for a consultancy when I was still in college. We had projects before that were done by SOM, yung Rockwell Center in Makati. That's already done in BIM, and that's done in the Philippines. So we were at par by that time. Sumasabay na tayo. Although the softwares might be different, uh, the problem is implementation on this Philippines. That's why if you look at my YouTube channel, we are championing the Filipino architects and engineers to pursue BIM. Use it not just on major projects. Use it on your projects, small to medium-sized projects. Because ito talaga yung magpupush sa BIM sa atin when everyone is using it. For the implementation, it is a very vast, uh, it has a very vast scope kasi kung implementation yan, we need the government approval and we need the government the various municipalities and cities to adapt to it. So it's not easy to implement it on a nationwide basis. So it could start individually, sa mga companies, small companies, and when everyone is doing it, when the country implements it, it will be easier kasi the rest can comply with it. We can go on and on. This can be a very long discussion on BIM, but that's just how I see it for now.
Ayan, sa mga nagbabalak, no, to all who are planning to go abroad, especially in the Middle East, ano daw recommended country nyo, sir, na i-opt ng mga aspiring architects sa Middle East? Anong country ang marirecommend nyo na i-target nila?
Well, of course, sabi nila the top two countries that are safest in the world is Dubai, is UAE and Qatar. And these are some of the richest countries in the world as well. So we are called architects playground. Nandiyan din yung Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is fine, and Bahrain is there as well. So you can go around what they call as the GCC. It's pretty much safe, but I would suggest if you are going abroad, go for a multinational company. If it's your first time to work abroad, go for a multinational company, like an American company with projects, with government projects in the Middle East. Don't work for small companies like local companies.
Ayan, another question sa mga sir, no, sa mga fresh grads, newly board passers. Can they immediately can they land a job in Middle East, or experience muna sa Pilipinas?
Going overseas is a matter of luck. Like nasabi ko sa inyo, I was just 2 years and I just recently passed the board exam. Then it's a matter of call. Of course, noon hindi pa masyadong widely used yung internet. Now, internet is very fast and you have all the access to it. So even it's not a question of whether you've just graduated or you have 2 years experience or you have 5 years experience. It's your will, it's your decision. If you plan to go overseas just right after you graduate, you can very well do so. Because experience in the Philippines, experience elsewhere is the same. It's the same experience. You learn it, you learn from it, from the good and the bad experiences.
Ayan, I'm sure marami. Yes. Ayan. Thank you, sir, for that. I'm sure marami siguro nagtatanong, no, after Revit daw, sir, ano daw yung what do you suggest our dearest students should learn if ever no after ng Revit? What do you recommend for them to upskill with?
Yeah, immediately Navis works because it works um, in parallel actually when you're in the construction. And if you're planning to go to construction, your Navis works. If you're planning to pursue design, then you can go for improve on your Enscape, improve on your on the other graphic softwares of Autodesk. Autodesk tayo, sponsored tayo. Autodesk.
Ayan, another question. What minimum or starting salary can we expect daw, no? Entry level sa Qatar?
Ano to? Um, it 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 varies, no? Kaya sabi ko kanina, go for a multinational company. I would not recommend you to go to a local company because, for example, a local company would give you an architect. This is based on facts. An architect who just recently graduated, starting salary of maybe $1,000. You can double that if you work for a multinational company.
Ayun. Okay, so once more, no, announcement lang din, no, if you have a message po, no, or advocacy to share like Sir Aris, inviting you or someone you know to be our volunteer instructor, guest sharer next time po sa Autodesk Community Philippines. So, share ko lang, no, yep, guys, nagkamali ako. Please do subscribe to Sir Aris YouTube
Ayun,
channel. It's Beam Smart with ayan,
Aris
Aris
Basa.
Basa. Ayan, marami po kayo matututunan diyan at please join Sir Aris in her YouTube journey, no. Marami pa po tayong upcoming speakers din. I think dahil kay Sir Aris, no, I think Sir Learning with Rich will also be sharing his knowledge din in the coming months. Si Miss Nelsie kasi
Yan,
nakakaalam exact date, no? So thank you for
yan,
that
for
din, no?
MEP, yan. The best yan si Learning with Rich.
Ayan. Thank you, Sir Rich and Sir Aris. Also, shout out again once more to Sir to Sir Onel, our regular Revit sharer din. Okay, so yep, add ko lang si Miss Nelsie kung meron siyang mga announcement. Good evening, Miss Nelsie.
Good evening everyone, no. So, share ko lang yung screen ko. So, inviting you to join us in meetup.com/Autodesk Community Philippines, no? So, ito po ang ating upcoming event. So, on April 13, meron tayong Design Smarter and Build Faster using Autodesk BIM Collaborate Pro. No? And then, meron tayong April 16, Master 2D Sketching in Fusion 360. On April 20, Dynamo for Civil 3D and Sheet Set Manager. And then on May 10, magkakaroon tayo ng Autodesk Revit Structure Basic. So May 10 and May 13. And then on May 14, Master Part Modeling naman in Fusion 360. So May din po yung Revit MEPF na training. Okay, so if you're interested, inviting you to join us in Meetup, no? Doon tayo nagpa-publish ng ating mga upcoming Autodesk software training. All our trainings are free of charge and with official certificate of course completion or event participation. Ayan, so Sir Aris, meron ba tayong magiging output for this training?
What we did last time is the sheets, and now we did the 3D. I don't know, are we requiring the trainees to provide this the output? Or?
Yes po sana sir para alam natin no na may
Natutunan
natutunan
nila, no?
sila.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I think the replay is online. Just go through the replay, and we just expect them to create several sheets, the basic sheets, the floor plans, elevation, and sections. And for what we learned today, I just need them to prepare like a rendering of a tower that they did similar to what we did today.
Ayan, confirm ko lang Miss Nessie, tama no? Sa lahat po ng magsasubmit ng output, ang certificate nyo ay course completion. Pag hindi po kayo nag-submit ng output, part ano lang no, event, ano ba yun Miss Nelsie? Event participation lang, parang attendance lang, ganun. So yun po yung difference sa dalawa. And I guess madali lang po ata yung ano no, pinapa-output ni Sir Aris. May replay naman, papanoorin nyo lang ata at gagawin nyo lang, di ba sir? Tama ba?
Yes. Panoorin na lang nila yung replay. And of course, you can always check my channel if you need to learn a little bit more on those.
Ayan. Miss Nancy?
Yes, no? So, yun lang. So, output, ipapasa nyo for official certificate of course completion, no? Sa mga wala naman pong output, magbibigay tayo ng certificate of event participation naman po. No? And then, kailan pasahan ng output? Hanggang kailan, sir? Siguro 1 week, bigyan natin sila ng 1 week.
Yeah, that's good. Within a week, this is fine. Oh, si Joe Alonso nandyan, no? Shout out to Jomar Brazal Alonso. Mabilis yan, magaling na mag-revit yan.
Yeah, so dapat si Sir Joe pala nagte-training na rin, nagvo-volunteer.
Yan, pwede natin yan. I recommend him.
Ayan, no. So, bibigyan po namin kayo ng isang linggo, no. Pero tomorrow, Sunday, baka mag-live stream tayo para naman sa certificate release ng event participation. Kasi po, ang event participation po natin is within 7 days lang. 7 days from the actual date of the training. No, so possible or yes, we'll be having a live stream tomorrow. So stay tuned kayo sa ating Facebook page, no, para i-claim nyo yung inyong certificate of event participation lang po muna ito, no, since after 1 week pa tayo magkakaroon ng course completion certificate. And then i-release na rin natin tomorrow yung AutoCAD 3D natin. Kasi I know super tagal nyo na pong inaantay yung certificate nyo ng AutoCAD 3D and tomorrow ay i-release natin yon. So please stay tuned kung anong oras tayo magla-live tomorrow para ma-claim nyo yung event participation for Revit architecture and course completion naman for AutoCAD 3D. Ayan. So, yun lang. So, again, thank you, Sir Aris, for sharing your knowledge, no, and wisdom to all of us, especially to our architecture students, no. So hello to our UAPSA chapter, no, Malayan, PSME, TUP student unit, Adamson, UAPSA Adamson, no. Ano pa Sir Jomark yung school na kasama natin?
Ayan, sa JPSME Fab Lab Philippines. Ayan, and Fab Lab Mindanao. Ayan, once more, no? Hindi na natin papatagalin pa si Sir Aris. Thank you, sir. And see you po ulit. Sana po makaulit kami. Ayan, kay Sir Aris. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. Salamat din sa inyo, Nelsie and Joe Mark. And before I say goodbye to all our students and all our friends, nagpapa-shoutout lang na kaibigan ko dito. Si Nico from NMDS, yan ang supporter natin ng IT for all of our IT requirements. Yan ang supporter natin. Thank you, Nico. And once again, thank you. Hopefully you subscribe to my channel para mas marami pa tayong matutunan. Maraming salamat.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Aris. Goodbye po. See you po ulit. Sana makaulit kami. Thank you, sir.
Ayan, no? So, please, ano na lang sa ating mga natitirang viewers, no? So, pa-comment na lang for our last attendance. Pa-comment ng #BIMSmart. Ayan. BIM and smart. Ayan. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Patype na lang din, Miss Nelsie. Patype na lang din. Ayun, #BIMSmart. To check for attendance. Check. Ayan, so again po, no? Free yung training kasi syempre, 'di ba? Shinare ni Sir Aris din, no? Absolutely free yung knowledge niya. Ayan. So, guys, if you know someone na willing mag-volunteer, mag-share ng knowledge, ayan, no? Sharing is caring. Tulungan po tayo. Ito po yung our goal and mission with the Autodesk Community Philippines. Ayan, so thank you so much kay Sir Aris. Ano ba ang pinakamalapit ulit na training natin, Miss Nelsie?
April 13 po. Wait lang ha, check ko. Ang nakita ko kasi kanina is yung April 13 na design smarter and build faster using Autodesk BIM Collaborate Pro. So, it will be on April 13 at 2 p.m. So, I think mga 2 to 3 p.m. ito.
Ayan, add ko lang guys, no, magtuturo po ng na sa April 13 ay si Deepak Maini. Ayan, kilalang Autodesk user yan. Expert ng Navisworks, no? Kanina may nagbanggit ng Navisworks. As you can see here in his page, nakapag-release siya ng ibang book, maraming books, no, about Navisworks. So siya po yung speaker natin. So ayan, international tayo. And yes, Deepak is currently based in Australia. Yes, he is an Indian. So excited to have him on board. Ayan, at we have limited slots, no, to those who would like to volunteer, you know, teaching. We are willing to paano ba to, Miss Melty? We are willing to have you or certify you as an Autodesk certified instructor. Yan. So meron pa kaming slots. We are willing to sponsor you being an Autodesk certified instructor. So yung certified instructor po ng Autodesk ay nakalimutan ko. Ayan, ay program ng Autodesk to recognize yung mga tao na teaching Autodesk software. Ayan, willing po kaming i-sponsor yung pagiging ACI nyo. And pag ACI, I think ang lalabas sa certificate din ay your name automatically. Ayan. Yep, Miss Darcy.
Yes, no. So sa mga interested, message lang kayo, no. So ngayong pandemic na medyo matagal, compare sa dati, no? Kasi especially kung wala pa kayong updated na Autodesk exam, no? So you need to take it pa and magpapaschedule pa tayo, no? Unlike kasi before na you can take the exam right away, no? If you're ready na. So yun lang, message lang kayo sa amin. We'll be happy to assist you. And see you tomorrow for our awarding of certificate, no? So, dalawa po yon, AutoCAD 3D, yung nakaraan pa, and certificate of event participation para dito sa Revit Architecture Basics, Part 1 and Part 2, no? So, heads up ko lang kayo, ang date na mailalagay po sa ating event participation for Revit ay yung date today, no? April 3. Hindi na po natin susundin or hindi na natin masusunod yung March na ginawa natin yung first, no? Kasi po nag-invalid na siya. So, ang susundin natin na date na for event participation is yung tonight. Pero kung naka-register kayo and umattend kayo nung umattend kayo ng March, no, makaka-receive po kayo. So, antabay lang po kayo tomorrow. Magkakaroon tayo ng live for awarding of certificate. So, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. No, I'll leave you with Sir Jo Mark.
Yep. Okay. So, yun lang. Goodbye everyone, Miss Nancy. Sabay na tayo magpaalam. Ayan, shout out to PL Moon students. Ayan, so kita-kits po ulit. Thank you so much. Ayan, goodbye everyone and have a nice evening and happy Holy Week po sa lahat. Thank you po.
Looking to unleash your creativity? Enscape is a real-time rendering plugin that integrates smoothly into your design workflow. Compatible with SketchUp, Revit, ArchiCAD, Rhino, and Vectorworks. It connects seamlessly into your BIM and CAD software, easy to use and no prior knowledge required. With just one click, you can create 3D visualizations, and within seconds, you can find yourself exploring your fully rendered project. Experience a building before it's built. Virtual reality will enable you to create immersive experiences that communicate your ideas and engage your audience. Thanks to live link technology, project changes can be viewed in real time, which means they're immediately visible to yourself, your team, or your clients. Collaboration in real-time rendering is easy. Capture and communicate annotated feedback and make design reviews more efficient. Export functions such as high-resolution images, panorama, video, and standalone files give you multiple ways to present your projects. Enscape has transformed architectural visualization into something accessible for everyone, making it a powerful tool to use in daily workflows. With fast rendering times and ease of use, it gives you more time to focus on designing, modeling, and texturing your projects. See how effortless it is to create high-quality renders with Enscape, and sign up for a free 14-day trial today.
At LinkedIn, we know what it takes to create high-quality learning content. Our team of industry experts is focused on creating engaging content that's relevant to your employees, impactful to your business, and produced in a way that keeps learners coming back for more. That's why L&D pros at 78 of the Fortune 100 companies choose LinkedIn Learning. Everything we do starts with the learner. We take the time to dive deep into data from the world's largest professional network to understand the skills people and businesses need, exploring LinkedIn-specific insights that no one else has, like what jobs are currently trending and the skills that are most in demand. Our course library is powered by the LinkedIn network, allowing us to keep up with the rapid, ever-changing demand for hard and soft skills, and empowering us to create an incredibly deep course library that's always fresh and up to date. Once we know the courses your learners and your business need, we find passionate industry experts to teach them. Every instructor has credible, real-world experience, so the content is not only relevant, but also immediately applicable. Each instructor is paired with a content producer who has experience in both instructional design and film production. Producers support the instructors, helping them build engaging courses and coaching them to bring out their best performance. All the way from recording to delivery, our creative teams work together to craft studio-caliber visuals and sound that deliver the most impactful learning experience. Every step of the process is designed to deliver skill-based content in a clear and compelling manner. Because we know that relevant, expertly produced content is a crucial part of every truly engaging learning experience. And it's those experiences that create lifelong learners.